Mike McBath is not your run-of-the-mill 26-year-old. He's an active community leader and a voice for hope for victims. To help make a change in the community, Mike McBath recently ran for Knox County mayor.
I just went around campaigning hard, basically just doing what I do in my everyday life, just hanging with people in the community, just doing little stuff that just matter, that people don't think matter.
When running for mayor, Mike had a very unique campaign slogan.
No suits, no ties, no lies. And I came up with it. I was at work and we was just, me and a couple guys, we was just joshing around. And we came up with it. It's like, hey, they was like, are you gonna wear a suit? It was like, nope. You gonna wear a tie? Nope. And it was like, okay, no suits, no ties, no lies. And a lot of people took it the wrong way. They was like, oh, well, you gotta dress like this and this and this and that. I said, I don't have to dress like anybody. You don't have to dress like anybody. If you're going to judge me off my appearance, then I don't want to be a part of it. Judge me off my character, because my character is a lot stronger than my appearance. I'm just going to be myself. A suit and a tie doesn't change me. I can put on a suit and tie all day long, but it's not going to clean up the fact that my community's struggling, my brothers are gone, the victim's right is getting no coverage. It's not gonna fix those situations. When you see me, I told people, when you see me go out, my sleeves are already rolled up.
Mike lost the Democratic primary by 7%, or 262 votes, but he has not given up on politics. Mike currently is running for City at Large, Seat A.
The reason I picked to run for City at Large is because I felt like my message from Knox County mayoral candidate, when I was a Knox County mayoral candidate, resonated with a lot of people, and it still lingers to today, and I still feel the same way. I've seen that much change, but I'm pushing for change like this, so it's still the same. It's just a little more neater and a little more specific than it was. One of the things that I'm real big into, one of the things that my passion is for, is just the youth. The youth is everything. I think the foundation starts with the youth. They determine the job market for tomorrow. They determine a lot of things, the education rate. They determine a lot of things. If you look at it now, statistically, a lot of crimes are being committed by people between 18 and 40. And why is that? And I think it's because a lot of them don't have hope and a lot of them don't have faith. And I just feel like it's our job as political leaders to store that faith and hope in them, give them something to do, guide them in the right direction.
During his lifetime, Mike has suffered two tremendous losses, his brothers.
When I lost my first brother, it was kind of weird, because the night that he passed, I was actually arguing with the ex-girlfriend, and we was breaking up and stuff, and it's weird because I felt like she didn't love me because she was hanging out with some other guy. But I remember I had went home, and as soon as I got real into bed, the phone was ringing, and it's like 11:30 at night, and it's just ringing constantly. And my mom, she was like, hey, Dee's been stabbed. And immediately I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm getting ready to come to the hospital. And I told my cousin, because we used to room together, and he was like, oh, well, call me when you get to the hospital, because he had a stomachache, he wasn't feeling good. And I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, okay, he's just stabbed, he's gonna pull through, he probably got some stitches or whatever. And when I got to the hospital, I seen everyone's facial expressions and stuff, and that kind of just took a toll on me right there, because once he left and he was gone, I never really got to apologize for like everything that I felt like I did to him, because he wanted to be so close with me. And there would be several times I would just put, several other things over him instead of hanging out with him, and that just really bothered him a lot. And I remember a week before he had passed, me and him had a big argument just about me spending time with him. And I never got to say I'm sorry, and I want to spend more time with you, but that changed it in that perspective. So once that happened, I just, I wanted to be closer to my family. But I was so scared because, I don't know, it's like I had a sense. I knew death was coming again, I just didn't know how it was coming. And basically, I kind of sheltered away from a lot of people, but after that, my second brother passed, and it's kind of ironic how that was, because I had seen him the Thursday before. We was talking and laughing, and he called me like 2 hours before he had passed. And the way I found out is I was at work. You know, I'm working in the media, I'm working in the news, and right across the TV screen flashes, and you see it, and it's like no. And immediately I get the phone call, and it's like, hey, your brother's been shot. And my body just dropped, you know. It went poison. I'm a real faithful man, you know, as far as when it goes as a guy, you know, my faith is strong. And I just couldn't wonder why, you know, I just kept asking why. But one thing he told me, you know, in those several days when I was seeking for an answer, he was like, it's not about how you go, but it's about where you go. And that's always stuck with me.
Since the passing of his brothers, Mike has been involved in a very vital community program.
Hope for victims. It's the victim's right. You know, a lot of people sleep on that thing, but it's a lot of people who are now, or a lot of families who are suffering, who are victims because their loved ones were taken away. You know, in such a brutal way, and you know, some crimes are solved, some crimes are unsolved because a lot of people sleep on the victims. You know, the victims' right group, and I mean, it's a very big group in numbers. And nobody really covers it. You know, a lot of people push it under the rug.
But there is one member who is very active and very close to Mike's heart.
My mother's been a long time. She's been involved in it since the death of my brother, you know, my first brother. And I kind of watched her through it, you know, because she was the voice of it.
Mike remains active in Hope for Victims and is continuing to serve his community. When September rolls around, he will be on the ballot for Knoxville City at Large A, and he encourages everyone to get out and vote. In Knoxville for TNJN.com, I'm Jacob Haskew.